we'll just quickly fill in Mac when she gets here. All right, so if you guys might notice that your character sheets have been altered slightly to reflect your new hyper evolved state. Um, these new talents are only available either while you're on the planet or when you're cured, whichever comes first. So if you leave the planet before you're cured, they go away. But by then the game's over anyway. So um, let me make sure this is good. Okay. All right. So last time, Mr. Lieutenant Johnny was there was a transport attempt which failed, and our Exo momentarily saw the face of himself with a goatee, and then seconds later found himself back on the transporter pad. That part probably didn't know, but that's what happened. Back on the transporter pad, um, in the let's see, I'm gonna move you guys over there in the science facility. So you have returned. You're back here in the transporter on the transporter pad, but you did happen to see. It seemed realistic, at least at the time. I mean, it could be hallucination, could be anything, but you did see yourself enter a room that you were in, and then you found yourself back here. Um,
That was not the shuttle, Lieutenant.
okay, I need to once again figure out my volume because everyone's voices are different. Again, okay, hopefully that works.
Same here.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's gilded or if it's my computer or it might just be everyone's thing because it's a new thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened with Discord.
It,
I had to. Everybody who got on it had to reset everything to make sure, everything was good.
yeah, for a general setting, you can go to the settings menu at the bottom left and voice and video and change the output volume. That's what I just did.
Oh yeah, I remember that. For me though, if I can. Oh, there's. Let's see.
I can turn up my microphone on my end if you need.
No, you're fine. I need to remember where these things are for the future. So my input is slightly up, both, well, I'll move my output back down to halfway, and my input is slightly above normal, average, halfway, whatever you want to call it. So that should be good unless I'm really loud for you. But,
No, you're perfectly
okay,
Yeah, it's fine for me.
volumed. Yeah.
Yeah, I adjusted my volume, so you're fine.
cool. And my main volume is halfway okay, so.
Yeah, you on the voice lobby under standalone episode voice, you can click on a name, right click, and it'll bring up the volume slider.
Where'd you say that was?
Click on standalone episode chat and or episode voice, and a screen will pop up with different people's names. Right click on any of the names, and it'll give a volume slider.
Right. Okay. So it's kind of like Discord. Everyone on my end is halfway, so and I can hear you guys fine, so it should be good for now. Um,
Yeah, it's fun.
all right. So yep, the Delta XO is back on the transporter pad. Um, when you tell the Trill chief engineer, Mr. Hammer, that wasn't the shuttle. He basically looks up and says, "I'm sorry, sir. The ion storm combined with previous issues with the power system has made things kind of iffy. Maybe we should stick to walking."
Agreed. Or maybe we should stay inside the the building here. Ion storms are dangerous, right?
And another thing, so in handouts at the top, I have included directives to kind of make it easier for you guys to kind of go step by step of what you got to do. There's nothing is in any kind of order. It's just some. I just put it in an order of um, when it came into my head. So the first one and the last one, prime directive and escape are just kind of obvious. Defend yourselves, you kind of did earlier, but you might have to do it again. And then the middle three, cure the nanomicrobe and the now deadly Ankaran flu, and get the repair parts to the runabout. Those are your three, probably the biggest ones that you guys should keep in mind. Um, let's see. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else.
I'm probably going to be the main person for the numbers 2 and 3, so I'll be working on those.
All right. So Navit. Well, actually, I need to. I don't think I have any threat, and you guys don't have momentum. Darn.
Yeah, we're all out.
Navit kind of bangs on the door that you guys have locked him in. And he says, "Hey, let me out. I can help."
I've heard that one before.
Well, this time it's true. Come on, I want to get out of here as much as you.
How can you help?
Well, I am a genetic and microbiologist researcher. I kind of know what I'm looking for and how to, help cure this stuff. So just let me out, and you can stun me if I try to run away again.
Is he being honest?
Yeah.
As due to your new empathic ability, you can tell that he's technically being honest. Like, he does actually want to help so he can get off this planet and get away from these creatures. But if there's any opportunity to betray you and kind of get the upper hand, he's definitely going to take it.
We can trust him, but Mr. Tiber, keep a close eye and phaser on him.
Well, Tiber, from his bed, will.
Oh, that's right.
Will.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that too.
Will say, very, very well, but with the transporter out, if we are to deal with our medical issues, we need our master medical records, which are on the shuttle. Now, I've got 2 points to deal with that. Whilst he's saying this, he sort of rolls out of his bed, stumbles, almost falls, but just about manages to right himself because he is feeling under the weather. And say, first, you, gesturing at the hostile lead scientist, what is wrong with our runabout? Why were you running around with lots of ship parts? What are you going to do with them?
As you're asking him these questions, back in the sickbay area, you hear what sounds like a body hit the floor. And when you take a look, the half Betazoid, half human, half other thing has attempted to get out of the bed and has fallen to the floor, still dazed and kind of, for the most part, immobile, kind of paralyzed almost.
Duck struck. Somebody requires your attention, I think. As he hobbles along towards the geneticist.
Very well. So I'm going to go in and see if there's anything I can do. Is she paralyzed still, or at least...
Yeah, the stun effect of the phaser is basically... I mean, she's awake, but she can't... She's effectively useless and an invalid at this point. Like, unless I get a control and command with 2 successes, that's how she's going to stay. Which is why I was rolling that.
Understood.
I thought they were all restrained to their beds.
Were they?
Yeah, the
oh, yeah, that's right.
force field.
Yeah.
I think only
Although
Tiba was
she's the
aware
one
of
that can
force field.
teleport or whatever, so isn't she? Oh no, that was the Andorian.
No,
I
she
don't know.
can.
Somebody can.
Yeah, she can
Yeah.
teleport. We'll say she teleported an inch out of the restraints and then fell down.
All right, then I'm going to try to put her back up and engage a force field around the bed.
Okay. Roll a fitness medicine difficulty 1. She's not resisting at this point.
Xenobiology come into play?
Yeah.
Ooh. And we have no momentum to spend.
Nope.
That was a nice spine she had.
Wow. And I don't have. You know what? I'm gonna take that as threat, so I can actually have some threat. All right. And Tiber Dunn, you were asking Navit some questions. Sorry, I was
Yes.
doing other thing, not doing other things. I was handling other player character issues while you were monologuing. So go ahead and repeat what you said, please.
You had lots of ship parts. What is wrong with our runabout? That's the only ship here. What were
Well,
you going to do with those parts?
well, I went out originally to just take the shuttle, and I realized two things. Number one, with the ion storm the way it is, it's going to be very difficult to get through it, even in the best of conditions. And the second thing I realized was that, well, your shuttle was kind of damaged, more so than the ion storm should have done to it. So either you guys crashed really, really badly, or someone or something kind of tore into it. So I turned around to come back and get some supplies to fix it so I could leave. Obviously, you caught me, and so now I still want to do that, but you guys can come too, I guess.
Was console power working?
I didn't get that close. I was still about 100 feet away. Just the sheer size of the damage to the ship, I was not going anywhere near that because it was probably something, one of these creatures probably did it. So I headed back here.
And the ship wasn't damaged when we left it, was it?
No, you guys landed
I
it
kind of
perfectly.
remembered dodging the Gornosaur.
Yeah, you guys landed perfectly.
But the Golnosaur
Yeah,
has come
I'm
back, it
going
seems.
to.
Well, I'm worried about the crewmen on board, and I suppose the two prisoners. I think that needs to be checked out, and I think I'm the only one that can leave because you need to guard this treacherous
Tiba,
beast.
Tiba shakes his head at that and says, I appreciate the sentiment, Lieutenant, but we are all sick and infected here. This is your mission. So if that is your command, I shall of course obey. But I would like to suggest an alternative, which is that
What would you suggest?
we are all on a time-sensitive push here. We are all infected, and we need the master medical records as quickly as is possible. Trekking through the forest will take too long. I am the only person who can skip it and fly
Can you
above
carry
the
me?
canopy. Out of character question for the GM: how would that be? Well, I'm guessing a sort of fitness security whilst flying, and I have no idea what the difference would
Probably.
that be.
I would say either
Yeah, like-
fitness or control.
Okay.
But since you mentioned a time-sensitive situation here, so at this point we are going to be entering into a timed challenge, which is basically for every two. Let me read this, make sure I get it right. Yeah, for every 2 dice rolls is 1 time interval. And a time interval is just one of those vague things that Star Trek likes to do. It could be a minute, it could be an hour, it doesn't really matter. But essentially, you have 14 time intervals from now to get cured and escape the planet with the people that you have that you're trying to save. Of course, you could leave them all here and leave and be fine, but I'm assuming that's not what you want to do. So from now on, every 2 or every 2 dice roll is 1 time interval.
So how many time intervals did you say we had?
14.
And that's
Okay.
to cure the Ankaran flu thing, right?
That's to do that, and also to fix you guys from not being highly evolved, from not evolving into what the other creatures have evolved into, and of course to repair the ship and basically all of that.
Tiba will turn to the lieutenant and say, I may be able to carry you, but if we are to fix the runabout to such an extent that it can move, or even just to restore power to the consoles to get medical information, we also need to bring equipment. That's a lot of weight for one pair of wings. I would suggest that we stay in remote contact and just I and the equipment go. It will be safer for the rest of you and perhaps more likely to succeed. My sinuses. Do you have any idea how big those are in a beak?
As you cough, Nabi also coughs, and red blood begins splattering from his around his lips, and he kind of holds his throat, and he says, "I believe the Ankaran flu has made its way to me as well."
Tiba has little sympathy, but remains quiet.
Well, then I suppose your interests are our interests now, aren't they?
Well, they
Mr.
always
Nate.
were, Lieutenant.
It didn't seem like it when you sicked your attack creatures on us.
That was before. Now it's very much in my favor.
That was before always?
That was now. It's very much in my favor to get off this planet as soon as possible. The
So
thing
I
you
will
know-
escort Navit to the lab with Dr. Strock.
Okay.
All right.
Question
Sure.
for the GM.
Mhm.
The talent that I have now obtained,
Mhm.
I'll deal with in character in a moment. Is that let's say I were carrying, or Tiba was carrying a bunch of equipment in his hands. Would he also be able to carry stuff utilizing that talent and like not have the weight be cumulative? If you see what I mean, or is it like having the cumulative weight, so it's like he's
Oh my God.
physically carrying?
I have
it,
to read
and
this
therefore
whole
he falls
thing. Hold
down?
on. That's the one thing I knew I was gonna hate about these damn talents is they're gonna be super fucking wordy. And it really, I actually made a telekinesis talent that was way less wordy than this, and I should have just used that. But then, of course, I found this new, someone put a new generator link, and I was like, ooh, it's got a talent for it. Oh my God, yeah. See, that makes stuff so freaking complicated, and I can't even read it in that freaking format. So let me look it up on talent overview. Esoteric. All right. You can manipulate and control objects using only the power of the mind, an ability referred to as psychokinesis or telekinesis. You may exert a psychic force upon an object within close range equivalent of the force that you would normally be able to exert. Okay, so any normal strength that you have would be in your mind, apparently. Though this takes
so
concentration.
Right.
Okay.
So let's say that he could, with his arms, carry a maximum of 100 kilograms. I'm just
Sure.
using round numbers for ease.
Mhm.
Carry a maximum of 100 kilograms. Could he carry 100 kilograms in his arms, 100 kilograms with his mind,
Mhm.
and not be horrendously overloaded?
I mean, that seems to be what it says, but I'm going to continue reading just in case. Greater force may be
Sure.
applied, but requires greater effort. You may spend one or more momentum to increase the magnitude of the force you put. So you can lift more. You just have to spend momentum. With each momentum spent counting as an additional person's worth of force applied. That is, you can move or manipulate objects that would take 2 people. Okay, you didn't have to explain that. I knew what that meant. Momentum may also be spent to increase the range. So yeah, if you want to reach something that's further away, again, they don't need to explain. I don't know why they keep explaining things that are easy to understand. To apply force violently instead, add 1 point of threat to make and control security with a difficulty of 2. So essentially, it's basically like a ranged attack.
It's ranged attack, yeah.
Inflicting blah blah 2. Okay, knockdown. Okay, yeah. So basically, for every bit of weight that's more than a person that you want to carry with your mind, it's just 1 momentum.
Okay. All right. In that case, Tiba will be looking at He'll be looking at the lieutenant. He'll look at the equipment he needs to fly. The lieutenant, the equipment. He's sort of like concentrating on the equipment, as though he's thinking like, how can I move this? And then it just starts to float mysteriously, and he's surprised. He's like, "What?" It's like, "What? I shouldn't be." What? And it drops to the ground. Concentrates again a bit. It comes up. He is perturbed by this series of events, but he's going to use it. He turns to the lieutenant and says, "I think I just solved the weight problem. I can hold on to you. I'll fly as low as I can, so if I drop you, it'll hurt less. And levitate that." He points at the equipment.
Well, I'm
All right,
likely more useful at the shuttle than I am here.
Okay.
As you look over, you notice that I'm doubled down in pain on the floor.
Doctor, this is no time to fall on the ground. What's wrong?
All these, the talking, the thought, it's too loud. I can't focus.
Okay, we'll leave you alone to work on this with the Vorta then. There will be less talking then, I'm sure.
All right. And Tiba gets behind the lieutenant and brings him to the door and tries to get like a good grip on him and all of that kind of a thing. So he'll be on Tiba's belly, as it were, whilst they're flying.
Mind the sharp bits.
Through the pain, he like taps your chest with his slightly clawed hands and just says quietly, "They're all sharp bits," and then chuckles a little. And then, yeah, in his mind, levitates the equipment necessary for the repairs, clings onto the lieutenant, and fly to the shuttle as low to the canopy as he thinks is safe.
All right, that is going to be a fitness security. Difficulty, I think it was 2. I don't know if the difficulty increases. I know the difficulty increases with the person you're carrying. I don't know if it increases. Because I'm pretty sure when they made the psychokinesis down, they didn't take into consideration flying. So I don't know if it
Everybody
increases.
forgets flying.
Yeah.
But
I'll
yes,
just-
I'm going.
I'll say it's just a straight 2 difficulty. Fitness security.
Okay, fitness security. We have no momentum, so this is important because if I drop him, he can die.
Do you want to
So
give me
I'm
a
going to. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to give you
Good.
2
All right.
to roll 4 dice.
Sweet.
Then complicated. Yep, here we go.
You can do this, Mr. Tibor. I have faith in you.
Yep.
You're an excellent pack animal.
Offended, but okay. Ah.
Whoa.
Oh!
So you guys are up to 5 momentum in one roll. And you are down to 13 intervals. Oh no, you're still at 14. You got one more dice roll before you'll down to 13. Alright, so while you guys are flying and carrying bits of stuff with your mind, Navit, Hama, and the doctor are going to work on 2 different cures. So Navit goes ahead and tells you, Dr. Strzok, well, the good news is we have the cure data in the computer for Ankaran flu. The bad news is it's for the non-lethal version, so we're definitely going to have to do more research on this, both the Ankaran flu as well as the morphogenic virus or the morphogenic microbe, in order to get the appropriate cure.
As of right now, it sounds like the virus, the Ankaran flu, is the more threatening of the 2. I need to see a DNA analysis so I can compare the current version to the last version and see if I can figure out any kind of cure that way.
All right, so I'll say that'll be an insight medicine roll, difficulty 2. And I will have this science officer, because her science is probably better than the engineer's, assist.
Well, one more momentum.
Oof.
Okay, 3 more momentum.
All right. So you guys are up to max already. So yeah, you managed to correlate the data, and you are now able to physically create the Ankaran flu
Antidote.
antidotes. Let's see. Now you're down to 13 intervals. So this is gonna be a bit more difficult, being as you're physically making an antidote, as well as you're not just physically making it, but you've also got to analyze it correctly and do all the great pharmaceutical stuff that people, that scientists do, and chemistry. Make sure you don't blow yourself up. So this is going to be a control medicine, difficulty 4, and I will again have the scientist assist.
I'm going to also burn one of the momentum to try to help out, if you guys don't mind.
I think, yeah.
All right. So
Ouch. Okay, maybe 2 momentum.
See it on the 6 momentum.
All right.
Wow.
Well,
2, 3,
I'm
4,
going to use
5.
I'm going to use 2 that I just developed to get rid of the complication.
All right. See, I said it was 4, right? Let's see, 4. So you got 1.
Yeah, difficulty. Okay, so yeah, that puts us at 5 momentum. 5 momentum if I'm not mistaken.
Well, you had 8. Yeah, you had 6, and then 5. Sorry.
Goes to 7, becomes 5, yeah.
For some reason, I didn't see the 6. I only saw the 8. All right. So, yep, you get rid of the complication, and you manage to create the cure. Naveed then looks to you and says, "So, how are we going to administer it?" Most of the a good portion of the individuals that may be infected are here, but Tiber Dunn as well as your lieutenant have left. So.
Well, this is a closed environment. We can take care of this, and then I can cure them through an airlock. I'll put myself at risk again in order to make sure they're cured before they come in.
Fair enough. All right, so we're going to jump to Tiber Dunn and the lieutenant. I don't know why I called this space. It's obviously a rainforest. I must have labeled from before. You are approaching. You're flying over or are you flying over or under the canopy?
Oh, over, because it's way faster to be over. Less dodgy, less weavy, less things to knock into. Not high over the canopy. It's
Fewer large predators.
Gotcha.
Indeed, it's like 5-10 feet over the canopy.
Okay.
And then we can dive under or something.
Jungles tend to be very thick, so you'd probably wind up on the wrong side of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you are heading. It's still going to take a little bit of time to get there. After a while, though, you are able to see the glistening of the runabout, and as previously mentioned, it does not look as good as it had when you left. It doesn't look like a big bite has been bitten out of it. It looks like something bits of the runabout are splintered outwards, as if something projected through it at multiple angles.
Huh. When you say projected through it, does it look as though something exploded, for want of a better word, that was on the inside, or does it look like something came in from the left, went straight through the ship, and then came out the right?
That would be an insight security roll, difficulty 1.
Is that worth it, considering we have?
I tell you what, I'll do this. I'll make an insight security roll, difficulty 2, and you'll get way more information than just that.
Okay, so insight security roll difficulty 2 maybe becomes difficulty 1 due to always watching.
Yep, it does. So back to square one. Oh, nice. So you are back up to full. You guys are rolling really well. Definitely not like my Tuesday crew. So yep, you guys.
I haven't had to roll yet.
Yeah, that's true. Down to 12 intervals. So yeah, you could tell that it's from both inside and outside. It looks like something was first trying to get in, and then something. The stuff from the inside looks like phaser fire, and then the stuff from the outside looks like some kind of electroplasma energy that you've never really seen before. Something that definitely isn't from a ship, so to speak. As for the other information that would be useful, your keen eyesight and hearing, you're able to detect a reptilian life form slinking through the trees in the rainforest.
Okay. Now I'm going to reveal how this entire party have been idiots, including myself, which is I've just remembered nameless NPC crewmen who should have been in there exists.
Yeah, and they were for a while.
And so I will do something that we should have done a long time ago, as we're approaching, which is ask the lieutenant to tap my communicator because my hands are busy.
Well, he's got his own communicator.
Fair enough. Ask the lieutenant.
We tried to reach out to that crewman last time when we didn't
Yeah.
get anything. We
The
weren't
ion
able to reach
storm.
him.
Yeah, the ion storm
That's
was
true.
interfering.
That's true.
But you could try now.
Okay.
You probably would,
Yeah.
seeing us how you're way
We're much
closer.
closer.
Yeah, I will hail him on my communicator thing. I don't remember his name. Crewman. Crewman number 1.
You
Does he
hear
have a red shirt on?
no, but I believe it's a science officer, a science petty officer. So yeah, blue. But yeah, basically you reach out and you hear the telltale sign of a either deactivated or destroyed comm badge. The kind of dull.
His comm badge seems to be broken.
Well, the reptilians...
We'd best go down and investigate in person, I guess, and I pull out my phaser.
Okay.
Perhaps we should investigate the weapons locker first.
Tiba will draw the lieutenant's attention to the reptilian in the tree line, sort of like a.
He
I
wouldn't
wanna
be
keep
able to
an
see
eye on
him.
that. Oh, okay.
He would
We'll alert him to
feel him. He'd sense him, but he wouldn't be able to physically see him.
Okay. Okay, but Tiba will alert him to his presence. And just
Okay.
like over there, keep an eye in that direction.
Yes, I can hear him.
Very good.
He's quite loud and obnoxious.
Mr.
sure that is
Tiber,
good?
Mr. Tiber Dunn, the reptilian that you see or that you saw briefly in the trees was about the size of a person.
Okay. But nonetheless, we'll slink down toward the side of the ship or the rear of the ship, so long as it doesn't look like there's some obvious fuel leak or something that would make it dangerous. And we'll go to land.
All right, you don't have to roll for that. You land, and besides, the what I've just told you, explaining the damage, you don't really see any sign of the individuals that were previously in there. But yeah, the damage to the consoles. There's probably maybe out of all the consoles in the runabout 2 that are operational. The rest are just beyond repair. But you do have enough parts to at least get the power system running, so you can lift off. As long as you reroute the navigation and helm to the working consoles.
That's an excellent idea, but before we do that, just in case our efforts to fly it make it so much worse, Tiba will cover our master medical records from runabout as best he can. He might not be everything, but it would certainly be our transporter information, our last copy of ourselves, that kind of malarkey.
Okay.
And send that via, I want to say email, but I'm imagining that tricorders have some kind of broadcast ability. I don't know, because of course that's the thing we have now, but didn't when the show was running.
Yeah, your comm badges are usually the communications, subspace communications things that you'd use. But are you just trying to send data information to the nearest starbase?
I'm trying to send the
something?
files to Struck.
Oh, okay.
So
that would definitely be
will
something
have
you'd have to do. Oh, to Struck. Okay. Well, either way, it would if you got the shuttle running, it would be easier to do it from there. But without that, then yeah, you could send it from the tricorder. It would just take a bit.
Why don't I work on the shuttle while you take those records back to them?
Almost exactly what I was about to suggest. Tiba will say, "I can broadcast it through the tricorder. It'll take a bit, but at least then I can stay here and guard you from the gestures towards the tree line, whatever that may be."
Okay.
Okay.
By the way, storyteller, did you get my DM?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I just
Okay.
didn't reply because, doing multiple
Okay,
things at
I
once.
just wanted to make sure that the DMing system in this
Yep.
gilded worked.
Yeah. All right. So, what are you guys doing? The lieutenant wanted to work on the shuttle while Tiber done. You're gonna play bodyguard?
Yes.
Okay.
Whilst the tricorder just broadcasts the medical records whilst it's on his hip.
All right. Are you going to assist in the repairs at all, or are you just going to watch? Watch the forest.
My initial thought is to be on maximum alert, guard, lookout, because he's not a talented engineer. But he will assist the lieutenant if the lieutenant asks for it. But if the lieutenant does not ask for it, Tiber is on watch.
Okay.
Not a skilled engineer, you say? That seems to be a theme in this shuttlecraft right now.
All right, so to repair it is going to be a control engineering difficulty. It's pretty extensive. It's going to be a difficulty 3, and I am going to spend a threat to increase the complication range by 1.
Awesome. So I am very okay. I have experience in computer interface design. Is that going to help me with this repair?
Yes, as soon as I look to see what the hell you're talking about on your character sheet. Is that a focus or a talent? Oh,
Focus.
Yeah, then yeah, definitely. I'm
Okay.
just looking to see if there's anything else. Yeah, okay. All right, and
So this brings me back to the days when I had to work on those helm systems and come up with a better design for them. I'm sure this should be a quick and easy task. I'm going to use 2 momentum to buy extra dice, if that's okay.
Go for it.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. There's no way I can command the system to repair itself, is there?
no. I almost didn't know if I should have answered that.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Ooh.
Yeesh.
Do you want some assistance
Well,
from
I would first of all like to spend 2 momentum to get rid of that complication.
All right.
And I would love some assistance from either the computer, the ship, or Mr. Dunn.
The ship is dead. There's no way it's going to assist you. But yeah, Tiber Dunn
I'm
could.
just thinking, I can't really use any of my values for this. No applicable foci, so it's just a single die. Here we go.
Oof.
At least I don't make it worse.
Well, we know one thing. That shuttle ain't running anytime soon, so I'm going to go back to the science station. Get rid of this for now. So you guys have, if I remember correctly, you have the cure. You just have to figure out a good delivery system. And if I remember correctly, Dr. Strzok wanted to deliver it individually to the people that were contained within the station before worrying about the other 2. Is that correct?
I thought that's what my second role was for. You said the first one was to find it, and the second one was to administer it.
No, the first one was to basically do the research to be able to do it, and then the second one was to create the cure, and now we have to administer it.
Gotcha.
So Navit strongly suggests some sort of wide dispersal, as that would be a lot faster, and as far as making sure that everyone is cured at the same time. And but if you want to hypospray individuals, that he's not going to stop you from that. He's not going to assist you, but he's not going to stop you.
Well, I'm thinking that the air is contaminated as well, so that'd be a good idea. Maybe something using the system's teleporter to like teleport that specific genetic code into the buffers.
Hmm. Okay. Um, Speaking of which, every time you all mention transporters, I think of my half betazoid needs to try to get up. So, because I really want her to destroy that transporter. Oh, so uh, your icon is in the sick bay, but are you actually in the science lab working with Navit? Just wondering.
But yeah, it would likely be
Okay.
that trying to fix.
So while you guys are, and I will, Mac, I see that you're here. If you would like, I can have Mac be kind of watching the people in the sick bay, since all the scientists are working in the lab. Um, but Mac, as you, and I notice you're not on roll 20, but as you are kind of standing watch, you happen to notice that the half betazoid, half human, and obviously partially something else is finally coming to, and she's fully awake, but she has not yet teleported. So, what does Lieutenant Hama want to do?
He goes, Doc, we have a problem. The Betazoid chick is awake.
The betazoid chick. That's super simplistic, but yes.
Can you take care of it, or do you need my assistance?
She's fully awake.
All right, then we need to administer this cure for primarily, but yeah, we definitely need to stop her from going crazy again.
Yep.
All right.
I would like some help.
What?
All right, I'm coming in.
What? I need. I need. First of all, I need either one of you or both of you to make a roll to determine what you're going to do. So you can physically restrain her, you can shoot her, you can put a hypo spray to her neck, you can do anything. But I need one or both of you to make that roll because she's going to make a roll immediately after, regardless of what you do. It doesn't necessarily mean she's going to succeed, but she does need to make a roll. So what do
All
you
right,
want to do?
so I'd say try to engage the force field around her.
She's already got. She's not. She's still lying down. She's just awake. She just hasn't.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she can teleport.
which
Yeah,
is what she's
right.
gonna do as soon as she gets a chance. So she'll.
All right, then
She's probably.
I guess since I'm in the other room, she'd be able to do that before I could get there.
Well, that's why I was suggesting if Hama wanted to use a weapon or use a hypo spray or literally anything
Yeah.
before she does what she does.
Can he use the hyper spray to get her unconscious?
Sure, that'll be a control medicine. Well, actually, it's going to be opposed. So daring medicine, difficulty 2, and it is opposed, so she's going to roll as well.
Can you roll for me? Because my computer's been a little funky right now. Trying to
Let
get
me
in.
find your character sheet. All right. What did I say? Daring. Ooh, daring at 7. Ooh, medicine at 1. Literally couldn't be worse. All right.
Yes.
Do y'all want to buy any dice?
We probably do.
Yes.
All right. So tell me how
Yeah,
much.
we're only at 4 momentum, so I'd say no more than 2 because we may need one for a complication.
Okay. And you can give me threat too.
I'll buy 2 momentum. And I'll get 1 with threat.
Okay. So you'll be rolling 5 total.
Yes. Knowing how the stats are, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So let me see if you have any focuses. Yeah, small craft isn't gonna work. Transporters ain't gonna work. Computers, composure. Composure will work. You definitely have to be composed when dealing with this chick. All right. So, yep, I'm gonna roll and let's just see what happens. Wow.
Ouch.
So now she has to roll to oppose that. As long as she gets more than 1, she is good. And hers is going to be daring security because at the moment she's just going to use her arm to kind of deflect yours away, not using any crazy abilities. Wow.
Aha!
You
Well,
managed.
uh,
So you managed to hit her with the hypo spray, but the first of all, you have a complication. Do you want to use the last 2 momentum to get rid of it?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you're at
out of
0 momentum.
curiosity, wouldn't the complications cancel each other out?
No, it doesn't work that way. They're more for storytelling purposes than stuff.
Gotcha.
But she also gets a complication. So the hypospray goes to her neck, and as you're administering it, you look at it, and it's the wrong anesthetic. It's not for someone like her. It's probably for like a Klingon or a Nausicaan or something. And she gets knocked out, but she's not gonna be doing well health wise when she recovers, unless an actual doctor gets in there and treats her. So that was 5 rolls total, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. So about then, I guess I'd come in and take a look at the spray, and I'm like, "You fool! This is elephant. Um, uh, this is for the Gornosaur outside. What the? What?
Um,
The?
she was waking up, so I was literally freaking out that she might do something.
Well, she's gonna be getting a lot of Z's, a little bit of special K there, but yeah, let's see what we can do.
At least she won't
I'm
be up
gonna
for a while.
a
That's
long
true.
while.
That is very true. So, do you want to administer the correct dosage? Well, it wouldn't be the correct dosage of sedatives because she's already sedated, but it would be a correct dosage of something that will keep her from being brain dead when she does wake up.
Exactly, and hopefully no cardiac issues as well.
All right, so that's going to be control medicine difficulty. I'm going to say difficulty 0 for his character. I think this is a pretty easy task.
And xenobiology, I guess.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm an
Alright,
engineer. I'm an engineer, not a doctor.
Dang it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a. Oh, all right, whatever.
All right, so you got 1 momentum at least. Yep. So she's out, but when she recovers, she'll still be who she is right now, but she won't be brain damaged or like near death. All right. So now what? What are you two doing next?
Well, next task I have on hand is to try to figure out a way to get rid of the morphogenic virus.
Ooh. The good news is the information. I mean, Navit has all the information you could possibly need. It's just a matter of getting Navit to tell you everything and not lie or try to hide something.
Out of curiosity, my telepathy. How
yeah.
deep can I go? Can I read
How-
deep Can I read deep thoughts, or is it only surface?
you normally read surface thoughts, but it's going to be a roll to read deep thoughts. But because of the character's heightened evolution, the difficulty will be 0.
All right, then. Yeah, I'm gonna. I guess
Or you could
I'll
spend
have
that
to-
momentum. Either one. But since it's difficulty 0,
What? Oh, you mean
Yes, what's that?
ask a question?
Yeah.
Momentum.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna try to dig in the mind, and I'm gonna. Could I use psychology on that one?
Sure.
All right. So you said it was control medicine. Is that right?
For this one, it's insight medicine.
All right. That's a lot worse, but here goes nothing. I'm going to go ahead and use the momentum for a bonus die, if you guys don't mind.
Okay. You'll
Because
probably get a
it
bunch.
couldn't get any worse.
It's an important one, so yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, hello. We got
Nice.
5 momentum now.
Yep. All right, and that was 7 rolls. So, yep.
That puts us at 11,
Yep.
11 cycles.
Yep. So yeah, you almost as soon as you walk back into the room, you could tell he's trying to hide it, and it's like kind of just walking through doors. You just push open doors in his mind, and you grab the information you need. But now you have to physically create it because this morphogenic microbe is basically a tiny little itty bitty microbe that can literally change its own shape. So you're gonna have to basically create some kind of crazy good anti of whatever the hell that is to do that. So it's going to be a control, medicine, or science, but I'm guessing you'll go with medicine, and the difficulty will be 4.
All right. As I was scanning his mind, I'm like, "You're sick." I'm sorry. Yeah. You did what to whose dog?
All right, who do you want to assist? Do you want the Bolian scientist or Navit?
I guess. Well, with Navit, I'm gonna keep the link open, but just for surface thoughts, making sure he's not planning to sabotage this in any way.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'm gonna have him help me out with creating
All right.
the cure.
All right. So he's going to use his genetics focus, and he is going to.
And I'm going to go ahead and burn 2 of the momentum since this is such a difficult roll, if you guys don't mind.
Absolutely. And if you still have determination to spend it now.
Ooh.
I do have calculating. Would that function?
Let me see. Is that a talent or a
Or value?
Oh, value. So do you want to? So yeah, if you used that calculating value, then you would spend your determination, and you would automatically have 2 successes.
All right, then yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm focusing as much as I can on this cure because this is probably the most important role of the day.
And of course, as usual, Navit has screwed you over with a complication. And
who'd have thunk it?
how many momentum are you spending again?
2 for
Okay.
the dice.
Okay. So, oof. So you've got 5 plus. So you're up to max momentum. I think I did that math right this time.
No, we were at 3. So, and
Yeah.
you said the difficulty was 4 or 5.
4, but you got 2, so you only needed 2, and then you got 5
Oh yeah,
extra.
yeah. So
5 plus 3.
So that'd be 8. Can I use 2 to burn off his complication?
Yes, that would be a good idea.
All right. Yeah. Then I'm gonna go ahead and bring us down to 6 and do that.
All right, and so that was 8 rolls. So you guys are at 10 intervals. I'm gonna jump over to. So the good news is you got both cures, and you just need a good dispersal kind of pattern or whatever, a good way to deliver it.
Yeah.
Delivery system, that's what I'm looking for. All right, so you guys have failed at fixing this shuttle once. Do you want to give it another go?
I would like to. I would like to say that I'm very concerned about my crew here, with Starfleet as my family, as my value.
Oh, okay. Did I say it was a difficulty 4 to fix the shuttle?
It was a difficulty 3 last
3
time.
last
3.
time.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so difficulty 3, control engineering. If you use your determination, then you already got 2, and so you just need 1 more.
I will use 1 of the momentum to give myself 1 extra die.
Okay.
That's okay.
Sure.
Absolutely.
And let's see if this goes any better.
Woo!
Hey,
You got
hey,
it.
succeeded.
All right.
So, did Birdman want to help?
Well, we've hit the 3.
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Avoiding
Just-
a
Well,
complication.
Just,
technically,
you can
actually-
just display here and connect this power system to the main reactor, and there we go. Everything's good.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look
See,
good.
I told you it wouldn't be a problem.
Like the patchwork in the holes in the hull is probably going to be the worst thing to worry about. If there's any complications from now until you leave, that's probably what's going to fail, and you're probably going to lose hull integrity. But
not rated for non-atmospheric flight.
right. Well,
That's what force fields are for, Mr.
Yeah.
Tibor.
That's what I'm saying. Like the structural integrity of this thing is barely holding on. So if there's any complications, that'll be what I attach it to. All right. So you have the shuttle. You can lift off. You can do whatever you need to you want to do. What is the first order of business now that the shuttle is repaired?
I think Mr. Tibor wanted to use the shuttle once it was repaired to transmit our medical information over to the doctor.
Okay.
I mean, yes, might as well. We've already broadcast it once, but broadcasting
Yeah.
it twice
Yeah.
doesn't
It's like
hurt.
a constant data connection. Pairing, whatever you want to call it. It's not required to roll. They have it. You're good.
I'll just amplify this with the ship systems.
Yeah.
There we go.
And
We're all
you're
good.
Yep.
And I want to go to the weapons locker and grab a phaser rifle.
Yeah. When you get there, they're all destroyed.
Ooh.
Awesome.
I will
is there any other...
If you want to spend one momentum, I will say that one is not destroyed, but that's only for one.
Is it worth it?
I think
We
for
do
you,
have the
yeah.
momentum. I'd say you go ahead and burn one.
Sure,
Yeah.
I will do that.
All right. What were you saying, Tibor? Done?
So I was going to ask if there was any other equipment, but it seems not, so that's fine.
Most of it looks like it's been destroyed.
Yep. So Tiba will turn to the lieutenant and say, "Well, Lieutenant, we now have a choice, which is we take this back to the lab, or delay for a moment and attempt to find our missing teammate. I certainly would not be willing to just leave them behind without at least an attempt at finding them."
You hear come from the forest.
I thought that was the lieutenant for a moment. I thought, "Oh."
No, damn you. We're doing it my way.
The morphogenic virus takes over. That sounds ominous, and I hold up the phaser rifle, only trembling a little bit.
Just a little.
Another on stump. Tiba will take several sort of steps to the left, so not to be in likely line of fire of that thing.
I kind of want to be in the shuttle, but looking out one of the holes and using that as some sort of cover for whatever's coming at us.
All right, and so that's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna wait.
Well, I agree that we should find this guy. Should I run a sensor sweep, maybe?
If they're working, that would be excellent.
I'm sure they are. I just repaired them.
That is true.
I'm hoping this is a con roll.
No, it's gonna be. Well, the good news is the ship can assist, but it is gonna be a control science, and a ship can assist with sensor science.
Tibor Dunn, can you run a sensor sweep?
So
I'm worse at
control
science than I am at engineering.
Okay, all right. This is. I think we're both equal at control science, but here we go. I'm not going to use momentum on this. And then ship stat profile. That was computers.
It was
sensor
sensor science. Yep.
Yeah.
Sensor science. Single dice. 2.
All right. Difficulty was 1, and so you get 1 momentum back, and you detect a 9-foot tall Gorn just at the edge of the forest. It looks like it's kind of creeping and crawling around. It's not charging at you or anything, but it looks like it's almost like it's hunting, like it's on the verge of attack.
Okay, and
I thought we were scanning for the missing crew member.
It might be the missing crew member.
Good thing I set this on stun and I push some buttons on the rifle.
But yeah, okay. Tiba will, if the Gorn in air quotes is not attacking, then Tiba will venture out. He'll go onto the roof of the shuttle.
As soon
with
as you
phaser
step
on
out, he
stun.
charges.
Huzzah! Fire at him as he charges phaser on stun. Be in the sky so as
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Roll your dice with your OP Birdman.
Hey, I'm not getting into a ground fight with a Gorn.
Yeah, literally,
So-
that's their
Exactly.
bread and butter. Lizards. The closer to the ground, the better.
Yep. So because of aerial combat, I have advantage. So I think the normal difficulty 2 turns into difficulty 1.
Yep.
And no range. We've got 5 momentum, so I will 1 momentum, 1 threat. Go up to 4 dice. And yes, that's on. Pa.
Whoa.
Wow!
So there's good news there and bad news. The good news is you
There
get
is
a
good news and bad.
not you can of course get rid of that with and then you'd have 2 momentum left if you want to do that.
Yeah, this is quite possibly a crew member. So Tiba is going to be doing what he can to try and take them alive, and therefore, yes, I will consume all momentum to get rid of those complications. I
All right.
apologize.
Now you're
here's
good.
The damage.
Yep, roll the damage.
We have momentum. We're out. We have momentum. We're out.
Yeah, that's how this game goes. Ooh, so you got so you don't get an injury. However, you got an effect. Is there a specific effect you want to use? The way I have been doing it is I just say effect is stun, but the way effect actually is used is more like nuanced and shit. So if there's something you specifically want to use it for, I am more than
The main now that the Gorn has come charging out, and so is presumably out of the tree line. The main thing that Tiba is concerned for is that not lose the potential crewmen in the trees if they run away.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
something that slows them down or knocks them
Right.
down, so they're not going to be able to scamper away as quickly.
Dude, what is?
And I think my suggestion in the chat is perfect.
Well, he's shooting, so I don't know if how he can. But let me see what your
Yeah,
phaser. If-
Maybe go for the Jimmy.
Oh, you don't have piercing for phaser type 2, do you?
No, it's
Just have
charging as
charging.
standard. You can charge to get extra things, but I did not do that because I moved.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at the effects to see. All right. So yeah, I'm just gonna say it injures. He's injured enough to not to be what's the word I'm looking for? Not immobilized, but
Stunned.
yeah, kind of staggered. Like he stumbles into like the front of the runabout, hits his head. Like he's kind of disoriented. And so at this point, it's going to be his turn to go. So I'm going to have to roll for him to recover from that because if I can find his character sheet.
Are there any shreds of a blue Starfleet uniform on him or pieces of equipment?
No, he is where. So if you remember, actually I should have got that picture. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. I think it was 2, where the guy was turning into a lizard, but he had a lab coat on because that was stupid. Yeah, he basically looks like that. He's one of the civilian scientists.
Ah, right.
So what was? Oh yeah, command. Command is 1. Okay, this is not going to be good for him. Yeah, he is unable to attack this round. So I will let the lieutenant decide what he wants to do next, then we'll move over to the science station.
Given that he's attacking us, I'm going to shoot at him
Okay, go ahead and make that
through
roll.
the hole I'm looking through.
Actually,
so
let's
that's
see.
control security.
Yeah.
Okay. We only have 2 momentum, so I'm not going to spend any.
And I believe accurate allows you to re-roll that 0. If I
Okay,
remember
I will do
correctly.
that then.
Oh, what for tug 3?
You got him. So, yep, a damage roll.
Okay.
Oof. Yep, that'll put him down pretty much out cold. And then we will jump to
These things are pretty handy.
science lab.
Type 3s are nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of rolls, though. What phase are we
Oh
on?
yeah, let me one. I'm not counting mine. 2, 3,
I hope damage rolls don't count as rolls.
4.
That would
No,
be cruel.
just task rolls. 4. So that was 4. So you are at
So that puts us at 8.
13.
So we've gone through 7 now. That puts us at 8, I believe. Or, sorry, 6. And that puts us at 8 cycle. Or are we at 13? If you want
Well,
to do that, that's
we're at 13 rolls, and now I'm trying to do the math. So it's 2
okay.
dice
So
for
that
1
would be
and
6.5. So we're at
Okay.
8.5.
8.5. Yeah, that sounds right. Me and math did not get along.
What is it?
All right. So now you need the Navi is still trying to push the whole let's just spray the whole earth with this stuff and get out of here. Um, it's up to you what you want to do. If you want to inject individuals or try to use the transporter or use the environmental system.
I'm probably going to use the environmental system, at least for the air, because I'm not really sure how this morphogenic virus spreads.
Okay, so you basically want to
Did I
spread
fi-
the cure through the system and see if it just takes it out
Yeah.
through there. Okay.
Did I find out how it spreads while I was building the cure?
It's airborne. So basically, if you as soon as you landed on the planet, you were infected.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Then, yeah, I'm going to go through the air system and try to get rid of it that way.
All right, that'll be a control engineering assisted by a control or insight medicine. So I suggest the engineer take care of the engineering part, and obviously the medical officer take care of the assist.
Yeah, and you said it was control or insight and medicine.
Yeah, control or insight or reason. I'll allow any of those 3 as long as medicine is
Okay.
the one that you use. And Mac, are you gonna?
My control and my reason are even.
There.
So,
All right. So
and that's one.
did I say a difficulty?
No.
No, you did
Okay.
not.
Difficulty is gonna be 3.
3. Okay. I guess I should probably burn some
Well,
momentum too.
assists can't buy dice.
Ah,
So
bugger.
yep.
That's usually why we let the person assisting go first. But yeah.
Well, not really that, but just wait until I say the difficulty before you roll. And Mac, you know better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing you could do
I
is you
will.
could spend a determination to re-roll. So if Mac, if you wanted to do that, you could do that.
Can I do that?
What value are you going to be calling upon? To help people, I'm guessing, since that's the only one you have.
To help people.
Okay, sounds good. And hopefully you don't get less than 1, because that would be worse.
Yeah, maybe you
Can
want to
I-
buy some dice.
Can I buy a 2 dice with 2 throat?
I don't think you for a determination you can actually buy dice afterwards, but in this case,
Ah.
I will let you buy 1 because of how important it is. You can buy 1
Yep.
dice with 1 threat. But I think normally you just re-roll your dice pool that you rolled before. But yeah, you can give me 1 threat for that. That's pretty fair.
Okay.
Well, that good news and
All
bad
right,
news
and I'll
again.
go ahead.
Yep. Roll your 1. Oh, nice.
All right,
So you
so
got
yeah.
1 momentum. What momentum were you guys?
Go
at
ahead and
before?
burn the momentum and the other one with the.
Yeah.
All right. So you're down to 1 momentum. All right. So.
But we've achieved 3 of the 6 goals.
Oh yeah. Let me count. 1, 2. So you're at 15 rolls, which puts you to 7.5 intervals.
Yeah, so that means we have 6.5 left since you said there were 14 originally.
All right. So that took care of the morphogenic virus. Uh, are you, and since you said you're doing it through the air system, then pretty much it goes through the entire inside of the facility, and it's going to take some time, obviously, but your initial scans read that everybody is slowly returning back to normal. You're able, Strzok and Hama, you're able to feel a bit different. Your telepathic and other abilities are beginning to become more muted. It's still going to take some time to go completely back to normal, but eventually everyone in this facility will be back to normal. That's not to say that the Ankaran flu is cured yet, or the people on the outside are cured yet, but you at least are able to function as normal people. And not be worried about being massacred by, the predator or bat ear Ferengis.
Could I have, since they're both airborne, could I have given both cures in there, maybe using a momentum for one additional action to put
Well,
the
I,
both antivirus?
yeah, I would say if you just spend the momentum, I'll just say you did that automatically. So,
Okay,
um,
yeah.
so basically now everyone is cured of both the virus and the morphogenic compound but only on in the inside of the science station. What are you guys doing next?
Well, that's pretty much all we really needed to do here. When the shuttle comes, we're probably, I'd say we move some of the people over into the holding cells in the shuttle and try to get them back, especially Navit, for their crimes.
All right. So then we're gonna jump to you guys, and you have your unconscious Gorn. So what's next?
Well, I think we can signal them that when they get here, the shuttle's ready to fly, sort of. Because we can't land any closer to the base, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Tiba will head out and sort of restrain the Gorn. Are the biobeds somewhat functional and or put together in this place?
I mean,
In,
you
in the
could
runabout?
you could put the Gorn on the biobed, but there's only one biobed, and it's not like it would only be useful for restraining him. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
not really. It's essentially just a
that's
cot
the plan.
at this point.
Yeah, that is the plan.
All right.
Um, we just need some way of keeping him restrained should he wake
Yeah.
back up.
And I'll ask
Okay.
the doctor for an update on their work.
I inform them that the patients are all taken care of. The airflow in our system will cure of any remains of the viruses. However, I think we ought to take Navit back for to answer for his crimes.
Well, we've come to understand that the mutagenic virus is here in the atmosphere.
The only way I can think of to maybe fix that is to, I know this sounds crazy, but rewire one of the photon torpedoes to spread spread the antivirus rather than to blow something up.
So you want to create an antigen bomb.
When you say
Pretty
it like
close
that.
to it, yeah.
If you think that that will work, Doctor, that sounds like a great idea. If that's what you recommend, I defer to your expertise.
That's really the only way I can think of to solve the problem on a planetary scale. Otherwise, we'd have to quarantine the entire planet.
Are
We
you
have
Yeah.
are you saying this
more
in
than
front of Navit?
I was working on the air system probably
Okay.
when that happened, so I don't know if Navit's with me in the engineering area.
All right, then I'll ignore that. Go ahead, Tiber Dunn.
We have a more immediate problem. You said that the antigen has been deployed where you are. We, of course, are not there, and the air system in this, and he sort of gestures around the ship. You can't see that, but he gestures around to the ship. is not something I would like to rely on. Are you able to apply more locally?
Yes, I
Bring it
believe
to
I
us.
can. I can take care of that, or you can just walk through the airlock, and at that time, you should be able to breathe in and get the antigen in your body.
Hey,
And
Lieutenant
will we
Hama.
be
Sorry.
will we be reinfected again almost immediately, or does it also work as a vaccination of sorts?
Did I get it good enough to be a vaccination?
Well, because it's taking. So the Ankaran flu is probably going to be cured quicker than the morphogenic virus. So, like these guys that are in the biobeds are still undergoing changes. So, I mean, your best guess is it'd be a few hours before it completely cured everybody. So, it's up to you how.
What I'm trying to work out through this question is it's in the atmosphere. So I'll draw it to a different one. It's like let's say it's chlorine gas instead. It's like chlorine gas. Okay, right, bang, you get chlorine gas, go away, you get treated. But if it's in the atmosphere and we're still on the planet, we immediately get re-exposed again and would
Yes.
get reinfected again.
Yep.
So what I'm asking is if the cure prevents reinfection, or if that's not a thing yet.
That'd be an insight, medicine, or science roll, difficulty 1. Because you wouldn't necessarily know this unless you specifically designed the cure the way, you know. So I guess if you.
Okay, I get.
Yeah, just go ahead and because I would say just give me momentum. I can make it so that that's the case, but you don't have.
mock
A,
us.
We're out.
you can give me threat. I mean,
All
I
right.
only have 5 of those.
Oh, drat! You
And-
must be heartbroken.
Yeah, in my other game
no,
I have 30.
I'm gonna just try to make the roll. You said it's diff 1.
Yep.
Okay, we
Nice.
got 3 momentum.
Yep.
Yay!
So, yeah, essentially, that's why I was specifying the inside of the science station, because that is going to be fine. But as soon as anyone walks back out into the atmosphere, because it's not like it's a vaccine that prevents you from getting infected again. It basically just reverses everything that it did. And because it is a horrible morphogenic and mutagenic microbe created specifically by the Dominion, they made it so that basically, yeah, you could definitely be infected by it once again.
Okay, so we're going to have to administer a local at least until we can get to orbit and use the antigen bomb.
Can I get Lieutenant Hammer to make an insight engineering check, difficulty 1? And this is not going to go against your rolls for the interval since I'm specifically asking. Nice.
Yeah?
So 3, 4, 5 momentum.
5 momentum.
So as you're, I'm just gonna say you're overhearing it. You start to think about all the equipment that's around here, and you're pretty sure that if you use like the shuttle's deflector arrays or the station's quarantine generators or something to that effect, you could create a large enough field that would spread the antigen throughout. And yeah, it would still take a little bit, but you would have a clear walking path from point A to point B if the transporters were not operational, which because of the ion storm, they're iffy at best. So, but yeah, you at least know that you specifically would have the ability to make that happen.
He goes, where's the quarantine section again? He definitely turns to the doctor.
Oh, I'm sorry. The quarantine section. I guess I tell her where in the facility it is. I don't think we ever mapped that particular part out.
Well, what do you mean by quarantine section? Do you mean which part of the station is quarantined, or do you mean which part is dedicated for quarantine? So that, like
The dedicated.
Okay. So it was probably the most quarantine would be the stasis field area where people are put in stasis, but they do have like a quarantine section where you go in and clean yourself like they did on Enterprise and stuff like that. So it just depends on what you're using it for, I guess. But essentially
He's
the
looking for the
whole
generator.
station.
Did you just want
the
like the
generators.
quarantine
Okay.
controls?
Yeah, the controls. Then yeah, it would be somewhere around the same area over here in the corner.
So yeah, he's gonna go to there.
Okay.
I guess I'd sojourn with him and see about wiring things up. I have a feeling of what she's going to do due to my limited telepathy.
Okay.
Basically, he's gonna try and do a limited shield from here to the shuttle.
All right. Do you want to try
So
to roll for that?
yes,
I'll assist.
All right. It's going to be control engineering difficulty 3.
yep.
You want to buy a
And-
die?
And can I buy a die?
With threat or momentum?
I'd say use
One.
momentum.
Yeah, I'm gonna use 3 momentum.
All right. So you're down to 2 momentum.
We forgot to wait for the difficulty again.
I said difficulty 3, I believe.
Oh, 3?
Yeah,
Okay,
3.
So yeah, that gives us 3 momentum now. I'm sorry, 5 momentum since we had 2 left over.
Wow. Sorry, how much momentum was that? I didn't know you had already rolled.
We're at 5 momentum now.
All right.
We
So
basically regained the 3 that we spent.
So you basically are able to create a quarantine field from the out. Let me just move you guys to show you. So basically all the way across over the trees to the shuttle. So basically the cure is going to slowly start to spread throughout that area. And kind of anything in it that was affected is going to be kind of slowly brought back to normal. Um, and yeah, what do you do now?
We just have to wait till it spreads throughout to the shuttle.
Or
Uh,
at least
Lieutenant
Your skills at the shuttle here might be useful. It could use some additional repairs. I've done an amazing job at rerouting the power and control systems, but we've got some holes in the ship.
Yeah, I'll be able
And
to go
I'm
over.
standing looking at this giant gaping hole in the side of the ship.
He's like, yeah, I'll be over there when the cure manages to get the link of the force field. When I get the okay by the doctor to go through it.
All right, then I'm just going to wait for the antivirus to spread, and then we'll venture out and probably get out of here.
All right. While waiting for, because even once the anti whatever you want to call it spreads, it's going to take him a while to walk that distance. So is there anything that you guys want to do in the shuttle while you wait?
I'll be making small talk around how officers these days don't really know how to follow orders.
Tiba will sort of he'll be paying attention to what the XO is saying, but it's clear that his attention is chiefly elsewhere, and without leaving the field, whatever its dimensions are, he's trying to look out the holes in the sides of the ship He is making scans on his tricorder. He's going up into the air a little bit to try and get a better signal and swoop around, because he is still thinking, we have a Starfleet crewman missing. Where are they?
All right. Do you want to make an insight security roll for that?
I shall, with always watching.
All right. So difficulty in this case will be 0.
Fantastic. Complicated. All right. 2 momentum.
That's 7 now.
Yep. So besides the typical critters and animals and things that are out there, either evolving or de-evolving, you don't see any sign of sentient life out in the jungle at the moment, or around you at all.
And
Just,
from
besides the
that
lieutenant.
role, oh well, it's barely sentient. From the
Remember, I can read your mind.
For now.
Actually, say that to him as he's flying around there.
Tiber, of course, does not think that the lieutenant is barely sentient. But okay, from that role, nothing's coming up on the scans or anything like that. But just looking at the ground in the clearing around the ship, does there appear to be anything that looks like a track of where this crewman may have gone, or is there no track?
There's tracks.
Too confused.
Yeah, it's there's clearly tracks showing that somebody was there and that there was some kind of, I don't want to say a struggle, but somebody definitely did a lot of running away from the shuttle. But you can't really tell if that was your science officer or the creatures that the science officer was watching. Probably both, being as they were there and now they're not there. But yeah, but you can't really tell, like, from just looking at the footsteps, what happened, what transpired, whether the person was chased by the creatures or the vice versa. But you do know that they escaped into the woods from your shuttle, essentially.
Okay. Tiber is not very many life signs, not picked it up on the ship scan. The communicator's busted. He is about 85% sure this person's dead, but nonetheless would like to try and either A, rescue them if they can, or B, if not, recover the body. And so he will return somewhat sullenly to the runabout.
Mr. Tibor, I know that this is difficult for you, but I don't think you can survive the inside of a Gornosaur's stomach to get him back.
Okay. How, just as a side question, how acutely aware are you of Tiber's thoughts and emotions?
I'm not drilling into him to get a deep sense of what's going on, but it seems like I'm now rather continuously aware of surface thoughts.
Okay, so as well as like sullenness, you're getting a dash of fear. Not fear as in, oh my word, I'm at risk. More fear of a situation, and guilt on top of it. But Tiber is not explaining. That's just what you get.
Don't worry, Mr. Tibor, and I pat the phaser rifle. We've got Betty here.
Tiber appears to not have a sense of humor about this situation, and so he'll just sort of like look at the lieutenant. You'll be able to probably work out quite readily that he is controlling his reaction. So he's not like angry, he's not snappy, he's not upset or anything like that. He is controlling his reaction, and then just goes, yes. Either
Yeah,
way,
maybe
when
you
we
should
have
head in and work on some repairs there while I keep watch.
Either way, when we have this, and he taps the side of the runabout, up and running, before we decide to quit the planet, the engineer can get the sensors to a better level of accuracy. We should start scanning, not for life signs, but for some of the rare metals used in our equipment that may allow us to recover, if possible. But yes, I shall remain vigilant until the engineer arrives, and I am ready to act as a glorified taxi service again, should that be required.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I knew I could count on you.
Yes, Lieutenant.
There will likely be a commendation in this for all of us.
Oh, that was an interesting line for Tiba, that he will metaphorically and almost literally bite his tongue at that. he's, he's having a slight, like, oh no, not again, kind of thing. But yes, other than that, it's wait for the team who are coming on foot.
So, Lieutenant Hammer, you are making your way through the jungle towards the shuttle. I'm gonna need a general fitness con check, as you're definitely trying not to get infected with a bunch of poisonous plants and spores and fungi.
Am I along with her?
Did you go with?
With him. Once the area was secure, I thought we were both going.
I thought
But
only
yeah,
one of you
I
was going,
think
but
she was summoned.
if
Yeah,
if
she
both
was
of you-
summoned first, so she'll go first.
Are you bringing all of the patients and so forth with you, or are you leaving a guard
That's what
behind
I
on
was.
them, or what?
That's why I assumed it was just the chief engineer, because I figured that was like the
Okay.
scouting party.
No, I figure it's probably better to leave them here, as I don't have any patience.
Ha 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 ha.
So you
Are
want
you
to?
at least bring?
So
I
it's
say,
just the two of you going?
No, I'm going to stay here.
Okay.
She's going to go. Well, he's going to go. I'm sorry. Mac's character is going to go, and then I'll reconnoiter with them once the shuttle's in better shape, I guess.
All right. So, Mr. Hammer, you are moving through the jungle, and I see you rolled, and you are mostly avoiding all of the poisonous plants. However, you do end up stepping on like a toadstool looking thing, and then like a bunch of spores spray out, and you dodge out of the way to not inhale it. But it's almost too late, as you kind of start to see double, and you even start to hear things. And you start to feel like there's somebody watching you from the trees and from behind you. And I would say you're about a third of the way through the jungle at this point. What do you want to do?
He taps his comm badge. Doc, I think I stepped on a poisonous plant.
Very well. Give me a moment. Given the fact that the crew member is worth more to Strzok than the guard, than the people in the facility, and anyway, they're mostly under a protective barrier. I'm going to head out and try to reconnoiter with her and give her something for the new paranoia virus or whatever she just got.
All right.
is the water like locked away?
Yeah, they're all in sick bay under a force
Okay, cool.
field.
Okay.
Oh wait, you mean that Vorta?
I
What
mean
did
the
you
scientist water.
Well, they're both scientists, but what do you do with the Navi? I'm assuming the chief, the engineer, and the Bolian scientist can look after him in his little cell area if you want.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you go out, and you still have the remnants of the telepathic ability, and you hear in your mind, as you're kind of following Lieutenant Hammer's trail. You don't really hear a thought, so to speak, as more of an intent of some kind of predator stalking you.
Lovely. All right, then. Right now, ham is my primary goal, but I'm going to keep a good eye out. I'm going to keep watch out of the corner of my eyes and make sure that I don't get ambushed.
All right. Do insight security, difficulty 1.
1. Yes.
You think that the creature that is stalking you is the large cat from before, just based on what you can hear with your Vulcan hearing, and the kind of animalistic intent behind it. But you also get the feeling that this thing seems to be not wounded, but if it's undergoing the same de-evolution changes that you two are undergoing, it's not handling it as well as you guys are. It seems to be either in some kind of distress or something of that nature, and its predatory instincts have kind of kicked in, and it thinks that whatever's happening to it must be your fault, so that's why it's kind of stalking you.
All right. Well, so long as it doesn't jump at me, I'm okay with just moving on towards Hammer.
Okay. Make a fitness con check, difficulty 2. Sorry. Ooh.
Ouch.
Do you want to get rid of that with the 2 momentum?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and burn the 2.
So your paranoia is increased as now you could swear you hear this creature is just charging at you from behind.
All right, then I'm going to be going into full paranoid schizophrenic mode, basically.
All right, so you're running ahead.
Well, running and occasionally darting left to right, trying to avoid anything attacking.
Okay, you don't physically see anything attacking you at the moment, but that could change at any moment. Mr. Hammer, you start to hear crunching of leaves and running behind you. As far as you know, that could be anything. That could be the doctor. That could be the monster that's chasing you. So what do you want to do? Thank you.
He starts piss bolting towards the shuttle, and he starts running to the shuttle because he thinks there's somebody behind him chasing him.
Sorry, my brother brought me lunch. Okay, so now I need both of you to make a fitness con, and the difficulty is opposed. Whoever gets, if Strahd gets the highest amount of successes, he catches up. If Hammer gets the highest amount of successes, he gets to the shuttle before Strahd.
Okay, Hammer, you're at the shuttle.
So, Hammer, let's see. Where is there? Hammer bursts out of the foliage, charging towards the shuttle. What do you do anything or say anything, Lieutenant Hammer?
Something's chasing me!
Okay, I'll aim at the tree line with the rifle. Only bad things come out of this forest.
All right. I'm gonna need actually both of you, the lieutenant and Tiber Dunn, to make an insight security check, difficulty 3. Difficulty 2 for Tiber Dunn because of your talent constantly watching. Oh, and I'm increasing the complication range by 1.
Okay. I'll generate a point of threat to roll an extra dice.
And I'll use a momentum to roll an extra die.
All right, so 2. Ooh.
I'm going to re-roll one of those because I've got bold security, so I can do that.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to do the thing to get that momentum back.
Okay.
I didn't succeed, but I'm going to try to get the momentum back.
Okay, so Tiber Dunn got you an extra momentum. And
hit the 3.
Did you get the momentum
back? That didn't do anything.
No?
I don't... Oh, yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay, so you're at 4 momentum. Both of you... Well, no. Lieutenant Jella Jani, you can swear you see that Nausicaan right behind him, or something large and threatening charging from the darkness behind him. But Tiber Dunn, as he's pulling the trigger, you can clearly see that it is Dr. Strock.
Tiba will declare loudly, "Hold fire! It's Dr. Struck!"
All right. Dr. Strock emerges from the tree line right behind Lieutenant Hammer. And
Yeah, for flavor, I would say because it was as I was pulling the trigger, what I actually did is I kind of jerked the
yeah.
rifle to the side,
Nice.
and a phaser blast kind of fires a little too near to you, Doctor.
Yep. I'm gonna spend a point of threat to have some of the trees catch on fire, just for the hell of it. Well, burn down a whole planet, a whole forest planet. That's fine.
It's one way to remove a virus.
Hey, with those viruses in the air, it can't make the air any worse.
So, Mr. Strock, as you emerge from the trees, you realize first of all that there's nothing really behind you. You do hear the cat-like creature far behind, but it seems to be kind of whimpering and whining and is no longer really focused on you at all. And you didn't step on any, acid trips, so you are good as far as that's concerned. But you are recognizing that Mr. Hammer is running straight towards the shuttle, screaming that you're a monster trying to catch him.
Yep.
All right, then, I'm going to say, guys, breathe deep. I'm not a monster, but the antigen is in the air, so that should help you guys out. And let's get out of Dodge.
Lieutenant Hammer, I know Dr. Strock is terrifying at times, but he's not a monster per se. Maybe metaphorically. I haven't reviewed all of his work.
A smile goes from ear to ear.
Oh my god! I
But
thought
if you can work on this small fissure in the hull here, and I indicate a giant gaping hole in the hull.
Yeah, do a control engineering. Well, actually, someone needs to fix his hallucinations first before he can do anything. Because when he looks at the hole in the hull, all he sees is like a giant black hole about to suck him through it.
All right, then I'm going to try to assist with that.
He goes, "It's a black hole!"
On a planet, why are we not all dead already?
So it's going to be a control medicine, difficulty 1. I mean, at this point, you have all the information you need about the plants to make an antidote for this stupid hallucinogen. Oh, wow, nice.
Okay, so that's 7 momentum.
Yep. All right. So yeah, he's control engineering to completely fix the structural integrity, difficulty 2.
We've got to be getting close to 0 hour.
Yeah.
Do you want to use momentum?
Out of. I think using.
I'll
momentum
use
to
one.
Avoid rolling.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can use momentum.
You said you want to use 1 momentum?
Yep.
All right. Control engineering, difficulty 2. I think I said, yeah. So you're at 30 rolls. Wait, that doesn't sound right. 20.
That would be too much. Okay, 20 that gives us 8 rolls left.
That sounds good. All right.
Good thing all we have to do is shoot an antigen bomb into the atmosphere.
Well,
right.
First we got to take off.
Yeah.
I'm an excellent pilot.
I repeat, first we got to take off.
I actually am an excellent pilot. It's one of the few things I can do.
All right. So, what's next on your guys' plan of operation? What order are you doing this in? Besides, the obvious of taking off first and then shooting a torpedo.
Well, I'm going to be working on the torpedo while they're fixing the shuttle and taking off. This is probably going to be one of my last actions before
Okay.
we get out of here.
So the main role for the torpedo is going to be either control security or control engineering, and then it's assisted by either control science or control medicine.
All right, I'm going to go control security. What's difficulty?
3.
All right, I'm going to buy 2 dice if you guys don't mind.
Yeah. This is an important one.
The doctor
Maybe it
can
would
help
be
you.
better. Oh,
1. So
Okay.
4. Well,
Never
the goodness
mind.
is you succeeded.
And we got one of those momentum back, so that means we're at 6.
Oh yeah.
yeah. So as you're doing it, I'm like, Doctor, maybe it would be better if you let somebody else. Okay, I guess it's fine.
All right, so you got 21 rolls there, and you have the torpedo ready. You just need to take off, fire it, and get those people out of there. And and fly through the ion storm.
Are you ready for me to take off, folks?
That's just
About as ready as we'll ever be. We're just going to have a rescue ship come back and get all the crew there. They should be safe once the antigens start seeping through the atmosphere.
Do you want to
And
be
you
in
mentioned
Navit?
that Navit was locked up, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if we should beam him or not. I'd say just leave him on the planet and signal a nearby starship to come get him.
He's a crafty.
And Tiba bites his tongue before he almost swears, but he's a crafty so-and-so. Persuasive, persistent, and clever.
Lieutenant Hammer, could you do some sort of simultaneous transport and send this Gorn up to the station there and put Navit into the biobed and strap him down?
Yeah.
Great. I don't trust him.
Tiba nods approvingly.
He's a liar.
Can I do a can I use 2 momentum?
Yeah, because it's definitely not easy. So it's gonna be
given the ion storm. Yeah.
well that, and you're doing a simultaneous transport, and you only have 1 transporter pad. So difficulty is gonna be 4. So you want to spend 2 momentum, you said?
Yep.
All right.
And I'd like to assist.
Okay. So it'd be control
And
engineering.
I'm using the ship's computers to help me.
Yep, the ship can assist with rolls now.
Okay, I don't help. I didn't need to help.
There's one left to go. Oh no, 4. Yeah, 4.
And,
Yeah.
and the ship can, if somebody wants to roll for the ship, they can.
I would, but I'm eating.
Well, it's what?
Sensors, engineering.
Sensors engineering.
All right, so we're at 1. We're at 5 momentum again.
Okay. Yep. You successfully complete transport. Mr. Lizardman disappears. Mr. Navit appears. Now we're gonna have 2 rolls for flying, 1 roll for a torpedo. One of the rolls for the flying is going to be lifting off the ground. Then the torpedo roll is going to be made, so you can actually disperse the anti-whatever. And then the other roll for flying is going to be to get through the ion storm. So the first roll for flying is going to be control, con, difficulty 1.
Okay, I will do this. And I think I'm going to save the momentum because I think these other rolls are going to be more difficult.
All right, you lift off. You're hovering.
The ship
I
helps
get-
me with this, right?
Oh yeah, the ship does assist. Oh no, there's another shuttle there.
Does
That was
somebody want to roll
masterfully-
for the ship?
What would that be? Engines.
Yeah, engines con. Sorry, I all this stuff is like second nature to me, so I assume everyone knows already.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, you lift off with an extra bit of momentum.
Well, you did that so well. You must be a con artist.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So now we got to fire the torpedo. It's going to be control security, difficulty 2, and it can be assisted by the ship's weapons security or no. Security or yeah, weapons security for the ship.
Mr.
All right, I'm
T-Boy,
gonna
you
buy a
shoot
die.
the torpedo?
Very well.
Well, I think I'm pretty proficient at that. Plus, with the antivirus in the system, I want to make sure it's done correctly.
Mr. Strock, I don't want you operating the torpedoes.
But it's so cool.
Security officer is going to fire the torpedoes.
Excellent.
I
What
guess
was the
I'll
difficulty?
assist.
Yeah, you can push the secondary button.
What was the
I just want to
difficulty?
make sure it's aimed correctly.
Control security difficulty 2, and the ship can assist as well as any one individual.
We've got 6 momentum, so I'll purchase 1 dice.
Okay.
Focus. This is where I just roll all complications. Watch me.
Quiet you.
So that's 2,
All right,
3,
so that
4,
gives us
5, 6. All right, so that's 4 momentum. So you have a bonus momentum. If you can think of anything you want to use it for, by all means. But I can't think of anything.
I'd like to aim it so it catches the air currents in the upper atmosphere.
So yeah, so it delivers it faster. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, basically it's a perfect dispersal pattern. Even the torpedo casing itself is completely incenterized, so it doesn't like fall down and fucking litter or anything. Now we just need to get the hell out of the atmosphere. That's gonna be a daring con, difficulty 5, and I'm spending 4 threat to increase the complication range to 5.
Does my focus of evasive action help here?
No, you're not evading anything. You can't evade a storm. I mean,
I'm evading the ion storm.
All right, fine. What does it allow you to do?
It's just a focus.
Oh, okay, then yeah. If it was a talent, because I know there's a talent that's evasive action, so that's what I was wondering. So at this point,
what was the difficulty? Sorry.
5, and the complication range is 5 as well.
Oh, this is. Oh.
I guess I'm gonna buy 3 extra dice.
Yeah, he's burning threat like it's the 4th of July.
It's almost like this is the last
Yeah,
test of
really.
the session. Is anyone going to help me with this other than the ship?
I'm not no good at that.
So I'm going to use 2 of that momentum to burn that complication.
So that puts us down to 3.
Might as well roll the ship.
Ooh. All right, is anyone assisting?
No one needs.
There we go.
No.
We did it.
Wow. Okay.
There.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have
4 momentum now.
you got the complication. So I'm guessing you're getting rid of it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I did that. Yeah.
That's already calculated. So we're at 4 momentum.
All right, so as you're exiting the atmosphere of the planet, getting through the ion storm, the last thing you hear is the communications from Petty Officer Biola says, "Why are you leaving me behind?"
Exactly.
We couldn't find him. There were no life signs.
You didn't scan for life
He'll
signs. You
eventually
scanned
be
for
fine.
one specific life sign.
Sort of what I'm doing as Lieutenant Hammer is assisting me with this piloting. I'm like, good, Lieutenant Hammer. It's a good thing that you came for some rudimentary instruction in flight control.
How much momentum are you guys at now?
4.
Okay, so does someone want to try to make a really difficult transport through an ion storm?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, do it.
difficulty 5. I don't have anything to raise the complication range, so you're lucky on that. But
Go ahead and burn all 4. Burn 2 of it at least.
yeah, and you could
And
even get
also,
assist.
mission,
Sorry, go ahead.
it's control
And-
engineering, isn't it? Yeah.
Control
I'm
engineering.
All right, I'll
Since this
assist.
since this is related to themes and Tiba's backstory,
Um,
and I still have determination hanging around. Permission
giving you-
to. Oh, carry on.
I'm gonna give you 1 threat.
Okay. I can't use it for anything now.
Permission to use determination point on crew is my family for the assist, so I just get 2.
You can't
And
use
don't roll the
determination on
assists, like-
assists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that I do know. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so she beams right through the mirror universe and back onto the shuttle. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else. There was something I was gonna do, but I can't remember what it was now.
He goes, at least we didn't leave you behind.
Biola just looks at you all like, really?
We had to make sure you're cured.
Yeah, crewman number one. We value you intensively.
Do you see it was CPO?
She just turns around and walks back into the back.
Yeah.
There's a Vorta back there. Don't let them out of the bed.
Okay.
If you see a Volta back there, don't let him out of the bed because he's a constant liar.
Well, he's a
And
Vorta.
a bit of a eugenic maniac.
Well, he is a Vorta after all. That's, can't trust him. But yeah. So, does anyone want to do anything before we end this session?
Just a little bit of fluff, which is
Bluff is the best.
combining elements of Tiba's backstory and also his bold and impulsive flaw, and the fact that he tried to find the CPO and he couldn't, and he did everything that he thought he safely could. And
You want?
I know
Let me add.
this, but-
Well, let me add one more thing to all of that. If
Yeah.
Lieutenant Hammer had not created that field that was going that would basically make it so Biola returned back to her normal state, she would have stayed there the whole time. Y'all probably would have left her and not even realized it because she wouldn't have tried to contact you.
Well, the bits that was going through in Tiba's mind is he's thinking, one, why didn't my tricorder pick it up? 2, I suggested that we scan for like pieces of equipment and so forth, but we didn't. We just went off. He's very angry about all of this.
Well,
and in his
it's not.
Oh, hang on.
Biola will tell him. Well, does she bring it up? Does he bring it up to Biola?
No. So let me just continue. In his backstory, due to the events that he rolled, he tried to take command and survivor of that crash incident. He has, the most senior surviving crewman on a ship that downed. He led the surviving crew, but several of them died anyway due to exposure conditions, all of that kind of thing. He feels really, really bad about leaving crewmen behind. He's kind of got a version of survivor's guilt, etc. He's really hacked off with all of this. So he's hammering away at his tricorder, going, "Why didn't this work? Why didn't this work? Why didn't this work?" in his head, and he, in an attempt to save face and linking in with his flaws, he just sort of like goes to one of the little rooms in the runabout and just slams his tricorder against the wall. It shatters in a fit of anger and frustration at the event, and his feeling of shame over getting that a bit whiffed and very nearly leaving a crew member behind. And then he calms himself down, comes out, and then goes and tries to talk to Biola to make sure that Biola is, okay. How are they faring?
Can I just change one thing about that? Is after
Yes.
he has thrown the tricorder, shattered it, and then walks out of his like personal little quarters area, he actually is about to, go look for Biola to say what, But then he sees her like kind of standing there, like at a corner, like he knows she heard everything,
Right.
and she walks up to him and she says, question out of character, is Tiber Dunn one name or is it Tiber and then last name Dunn?
So, yeah, from what I can find from trying to look up things on Aurelians, it's not incredibly clear, but I think Tiber is first name, Dunn is family name, but it's often said all as one, like you say the whole thing every time, because they're supposed to be like lyrical and musical sounding. Right. They always have that
what if she has like a nickname for him? She calls him T, and she says T, it's okay. And because I mean he's a lieutenant commander, she's a petty officer, but she's probably been in longer than he has, so that kind of same thing with like Chief O'Brien and all. So like they have a kind of mutual respect, and she goes, it's okay. your sensors wouldn't have detected me anyway. The state I was in, I had I was able to project an electromagnetic field around myself. I was standing right next to the science station, and nobody sensed me, could see me, could hear me. Um, the only reason, me and that Vulcan Cardassian and that the other one, the Andorian, were saved is because of that energy field that Lieutenant Hamma put up. So it's not your fault that you didn't detect me.
Tiba will look at her, take a moment just to get his head straight, and will say in a slight Joshy way, "Well, thank you for that, B. But actually, there is no but, B. There is no but. Thank you for your understanding." And he reaches up into his wing and he pulls out one of the very last ones that's still metal.
I knew it. I knew it. Yeah.
Nah, we have to get rid of that. He looks at it. He looks at her, and he thinks, I get about her line about standing right next to it, and nobody knew, and so forth. He says, and it's gone, isn't it? Attempting to get some levity. I'm not going to have to lock my doors at night, am I?
She just
he sort of tries to smile at her.
Chuckles and shakes her head and says, "I think you're fine."
Very well. Sorry, did you say they were a CPO?
Petty officer, first class.
Oh, just at the PO bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Very well. Petty officer B. And he sort of fiddles around with the metal feather and sort of he thinks it's going to turn into a feather in a few
It doesn't
minutes,
because it's out of his body.
Yay! He just sort of pockets it. It's like, I'm keeping that. And just sort of taps her on the back after she tapped him on the back. Says, "Well, for your extreme medical ordeal you underwent in the past few hours, I think I can authorize," and he sort of comedically looks at a watch that isn't there. "I think I can authorize an extra half shift of R&R for you, B."
She just
Go
chuckles.
lie down.
She's like, "Thank you, sir."
Abuse the replicator.
Thank you. And she heads back and kind of gives him a wave and heads back to her little bunk area where there's her stuff is at.
Mm.
And Lieutenant Gelazani is making a log for the mission and praising the valiant actions of the crew under his brave leadership.
And for as far as I go, I don't really have much else to do in the mission, but I would like to thank you for such a great 3-part one-shot.
Thank you, no problem. It was definitely
It was
fun.
very fun.
I've done this session 3 or 4 times. It's always been different. So
I like that black hole in the shuttle.
it's not a black hole; it's a window. But I'll do a quick epilogue before we end. Bring you back to the science lab. The ion storm has calmed down, and everything is fine, fine-ish. But 2 things happen. One, Navit escapes. As the engineer and the Klingon security officer tries to pursue him, he rounds the corner, gets outside, and comes face to face with the Cardassian Vulcan who has not changed back. And that is where we will end.
How did he get back there? Ooh.
So many mysteries. Well, just one, really.
Why didn't he change? Oh, so what was just as a matter of interest? That is interesting. Was sort of Navit taken back there after we handed him over?
Oh no, you're right. No, that was me. My bad. That was me forgetting that he was transported. So instead, that's what would have happened if you hadn't have transported him. But the creature that has not changed does get into the base, and that's where we'll end.
Or Klingon security.
All right,
That
sounds
might even be
good.
worse.
That's even because you know what he wants. He wants Navit.
Yeah.
All right.
So when the evac ship shows up, they're
Oh,
all
it's gonna be
dead.
funny. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Oh, the
but,
cure's still in the base.
Huh?
Still in the air filter.
Yeah, well, it's
The
supposed to be,
cure.
yeah, but it hasn't worked on
Yeah.
that one guy for some reason.
Yeah.
maybe he was the first project.
Ooh, could be.
Yeah.
He was the success. Everyone else was a failure.
Or vice versa. He was the one with the mutated mutagen. But yeah, thank you. Did you get a chance to read my story, perchance?
Your story?
Storyteller. Yeah, the one I sent. Storyteller, the one I sent you in Discord.
Let me look.
Direct message.
Oh, is it the backstory?
Yeah.
No, I was on my phone at the time. I tried downloading it, and it didn't work because my phone sucks. But I just downloaded it on my computer, and I'll read it today.
All right. If you need me to change anything, just let me know. That's going to be my semi-permanent character.
Okay. Salik is the one for the Legion, right? Yeah. Okay. Just trying.
That's correct.
Everyone has so many characters.
I thought this was a one shot, so I just created a sample character. Plus, I
Yeah.
really didn't know what I was doing at the time.
It's all good. Either way, like, you know, everyone's. I like everyone's character. The only one's character that I had an issue with was Jella Jani. That was just because I kept forgetting his name, and I just kept calling him the Delton XO. That was the only one that I had any issue with, but it's not obviously his fault. It's just their names are really complicated, and it's not even that complicated.
I'd like to say that I'm pretty horrible at playing a Vulcan that's gone through Kolinar because of my pun habit.
Yeah, don't play Vulcans anymore.
Yeah, I'm out of my Vulcan mind.
Is Salik a Vulcan?
No, Salik is a Chimera, the Karema.
Karema, yeah, okay. The Caramels. Okay, yeah. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns?